We face another challenge in a rising China. China is attentive to the interests of its government, but it too often disregards the rights of its people. It's selective in the freedoms it allows, and as with its one-child policy, it can be ruthless in crushing the freedoms it denies. In conducting trade with America, it permits flagrant patent and copyright violations, forestalls American businesses from competing in its market, and manipulates its currency to obtain unfair advantage. It's in our mutual interest, of course, for China to be a partner for a stable and secure world, and we welcome its participation in trade. But the cheating must finally be brought to a stop. The President hasn't done it and won't do it, and I will. You know, the President has an opportunity, was required as of last Friday, to officially designate whether China is a currency manipulator. Let me tell you what that means, by the way. When a country artificially holds down the value of their currency, it means that the products that they sell to us are artificially cheap. And that means that American companies that are making these same products, they go out of business if their Chinese products are so much cheaper than the real costs behind them. And yet, over the past several years, the President's failed to call China a currency manipulator. He had the occasion on Friday to come out with that official designation. Do you know what they said? We're not going to make any determination until after the election. Let me tell you, on day one of my administration, I will label China a currency manipulator. We got to get those jobs back and get trade to be fair.
The problem is that you've got a bunch of export producers in China who like the system as it is, and making changes are difficult for them politically. I get it, but the United States and other countries, I think understandably, feel that enough's enough.
And when it comes to trade, I understand my opponent's been running around Ohio claiming he's going to take the fight to China. Now, this is a guy whose experience has been owning companies that were called pioneers of outsourcing jobs to countries like China. Made money investing in companies, shipping jobs to China. Ohio, you can't stand up to China if all you've done is send them our jobs. You can talk a good game 7 weeks before an election, but you can't just talk the talk. You've got to walk the walk. I wake up every single day thinking about America's workers and making sure they've got a fair shot in this economy. When other countries don't play by the rules, we've walked the walk. We've brought more trade cases against China in one term than the previous administration did in 2. When Governor Romney was complaining that because we stopped an unfair surge in Chinese tires here into the United States, he said, well, no, that's protectionist. We did it anyway. And we got over 1,000 American jobs back right here in the United States. Earlier this year, I set up a new task force to go after every unfair trade practices that harm our workers. And it's already delivering. 2 months ago, we moved to hold China accountable for unfair trade practices that harm American automakers. Today, my administration is launching a new action against China. This one against illegal subsidies that encourage companies to ship auto parts manufacturing jobs overseas, which directly hurts men and women on the assembly lines in Ohio and Michigan and throughout the Midwest. Your senator, by the way, Sherrod Brown, has fought as hard as anybody on this. So where folks are breaking the rules, we go after them. We're not going to let it stand.